Hey everyone, Jared here with ToneandTitan.com, and this is an upper body workout that you can do at home with no equipment required. Now, I'll be showing you the beginner version of these exercises. You can add some weights to make it more of an intermediate advanced exercise. We'll do an interval style workout, 40 seconds on, 20 seconds of an active recovery period. Let's go ahead and we'll get started with some lunging tricep extensions. So get down into that half lunge position, kick your elbows back behind you, and then what you're going to do is you're going to squeeze your triceps to extend your elbows. And so I did about 5 on my left side, 5 on my right side. You're going to alternate that 4 to the 40-second time period, really trying to focus on squeezing those triceps, the muscles in the back of your arms. That was the beginner version. If you need a little bit more of a trial, if that's too easy for you, go ahead and grab some resistance. I've got some free weights here. Don't feel like you have to grab some free weights. You can use anything from water bottles to soup cans to milk jugs. Anything will work. Anything to just add a little weight in your hands. There's our 40-second high intensity period. Here's our 20-second low intensity period. And for the lower intensity periods, I like to do some sort of active recovery type exercise. You'll see here I'm doing a little bit of a boxer shuffle. The goal is that I want to keep my heart rate up as high as possible. This isn't a very long workout. It's going to take us about 25 minutes to do. We want to maximize our time, burn as many calories as possible. Exercise number 2 is going to be a Cobra Push-Up. For the Cobra Push-Up, it's just like a push-up, except you'll see that you leave your kind of waist, thighs, knees down on the ground while you do it. You don't necessarily need to go up into that full push-up. Again, this is a perfect exercise for beginners. It's a great way to work your triceps, your shoulders, your chest without doing that full push-up. If you do need something a little higher intensity, go to the modified push-up. That's what I was just showing you when I was on my knees. If that's still too easy, go all the way up into that full push-up, all the way out onto your toes, into that tall kind of plank position, straight line, shoulders, hips, knees, ankles is what I'm looking for with those full push-ups. Try to push yourself, try to work as hard as you can on this. I know that it's a great exercise for beginners, but you can make it just as hard as you want to, all the way up through intermediate and advanced. There's our 40-second high intensity period, our 20-second low intensity period. The next exercise we're going to get into is called a walk down. You start upright. You're going to fold forward at your hips until your hands come in contact with the ground, and then walk your hands all the way out into that tall plank position, and then walk your hands back to your feet to stand all the way back upright. Great exercise for the shoulders, for the chest, for the arms. The triceps are getting a good workout with this. We kick on some core as we're going all the way up and all the way down. If you do need a little bit higher intensity, you'll see now at the bottom of the walkout I've added a push-up. So you walk your hands all the way up, get down into the push-up, walk your hands all the way back, and then stand all the way upright. There's our 40-second high intensity period. Here's our 20-second lower intensity period. I've gone with the boxer shuffle for my active rest or for my active recovery period. Feel free to march in place. Feel free to walk around the room, take a trip up and down the stairs. There's a lot of things that you can do for that low intensity recovery period. And so let's get into our next exercise. It's actually going to be a Superman Lat Pull. This is such a great exercise. This is great for your lower back as well as for your upper back. You get into that Superman position, so you're laying on your stomach, your arms over your head, your feet back behind you. Pull up into the Superman position. You're going to extend through your back, so you bring basically your thighs and your chest up off of the floor, and then you're going to pull your elbows back down behind your back. That's the lat pull portion. The beginner version was to just do one Superman lat pull and then come back down into that resting position. You'll see here the more advanced version is you want actually to do about 3 to 5 of those lat pull downs while you're up in that Superman position. Okay, very good. So there's our 40-second high interval. Here's our 20-second low interval. And then we're going to get into our next exercise, which is actually a push-up reach. 3, 2, 1, good work. And so we're going to get down into that push-up position again. The beginner version is modified. That means we're going to go onto our knees. You do a push-up, and then you're going to alternate reaching forward, first with your left and then with your right. So push up and then reach forward with the left hand, push up and then reach forward with the right hand. What the reach does is that adds a little bit more of a dynamic component to it. all of a sudden we're taking away half of your support. You have to, balance yourself on just that one arm while you're up in that tall position. We're also kicking on some of the shoulder muscles with that one in the arm that's actually reaching forward. So this is just a great exercise. Works a ton of muscles in your upper body. Works a lot on balance down in that either the full tall plank or the modified push-up position. Good work. Hey, 40 seconds there. We've got a 20-second active recovery period. Our next exercise is actually going to be called a row to triceps extension. So we're going to combine two great exercises. Feet are shoulder width apart, hinge forward at your hips, keep your back straight with your arms hanging down in front of you. You're going to perform a row by pulling your elbows up back behind you. Try to squeeze your shoulder blades together on that one. And then the triceps extension part comes in as you kick your elbows back straight. Kick on those triceps muscles, are the muscles in the back of your arm to kick that on. Okay, if you need a little bit higher intensity exercise, grab some resistance. And so again, I've picked up my free weights. You can use, again, some cans, some water bottles, anything that's going to help to add a little bit of resistance in your hands as you do this row to triceps extension. This is a great exercise. Your triceps actually has 3 heads to it. That's why they call it a triceps. That longest head actually works as an a shoulder extensor. That means it's responsible for kicking your elbows back behind you in that position. So it's just a great exercise to kick on as much of that triceps as possible. Also great for your back and for your upper body, also great for your lower body, holding that static position. Our next exercise is going to be an alternating T-plank. And so here I'm on my right hand and on the outside of my right foot. Hold that for about 3 to 5 seconds, and then you're going to alternate. So I'm going to roll. So right here again on my right hand with my left hand up to the sky, put my left hand down on the ground, reach my right hand up to the sky as we're rolling back and forth. That's the beginner version of this one. If you need a little bit higher intensity, add a push-up in the middle of your plank. So here's my left hand plank, here's my push-up, and then I'm going to roll back over to the right hand plank just like that, reaching up towards the sky. Great exercise for the upper body. Again, we're kicking on some of those, we call them proprioceptive muscles, as we're balancing just on one hand, but then we're also working a ton of core with that one as you're alternating side to side with those T planks. All right, I've got great news. We have got one exercise left here in our first set. It's going to be an Arnold press with a squat. So to perform the Arnold press, well, first you're going to get down into that quarter squat position. To perform the Arnold press, you're going to perform a biceps curl and then reach up over your head and then come right back down. So half of a squat, biceps press, overhead press, and then back down to that starting position is what the Arnold press with a squat looks like. If you need a little bit higher intensity, we're going to grab some dumbbells still in that quarter squat position, and now we're going to actually perform about 3 of these Arnold presses while we're down in the squat. It just means that we have to hold that squat a little bit longer with the exercise or with the weights. We're adding a little bit more intensity to it. Muscles have to work a little bit harder to hold that position. And there's your 40-second interval. Again, pick an intensity that works for you. There's the 40-second high interval. We'll follow that up with our 20-second low interval. And I've got great news. That is our first set of all of these exercises. And so we're going to actually come back 2 more times. Grab some water, take a 60-second break, and come right back here for more. All right, and welcome back for round 2 of this upper body workout that you can do at home, 0 equipment required, working on the arms, chest, shoulders with this. Just a great overall upper body workout. Here we go. Let's get started with our lunging triceps extensions. Again, so you're down in that quarter lunge position. You'll see that my back here is flat and that you want your body to be straight. Basically, I'm looking for a straight line, shoulders, hips, knees, ankle with that one. And so you want to draw a pretty straight line. Keep your back straight with this as you go down into that quarter lunge position. Pull your elbows back behind you. Really try to squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then you're going to squeeze through your triceps to row your arms back behind you. If you need a little bit higher intensity, feel free to grab some free weights or any resistance that you have and that you can find around the house. And there's our 40-second high interval period. Again, try to push yourself as hard as you can. Try to get in that full 40 seconds, no matter what intensity, be it just the weight of your arms or even to grab some free weights or some other resistance you have around the house. Just try to push yourself. Try to do it a little bit harder maybe this time than you did during the first set. Okay, there's our first minute, and so the second minute we're going to do these Cobra push-ups. Again, the Cobra push-up, you're going to lay down flat on your belly. You're going to then use your arms to kind of get up into that push-up position, but feel free to leave your stomach, your hips, your thighs on the ground, just like I'm doing here. A little bit easier version of the push-up that anybody can do. Beginner, you can do this one. I know you can. If you need a little bit more advanced version, feel free to jump onto your knees. Now I'm just holding the plank position, basically shoulders, hips, knees in a straight line. If you need even a little bit more intensity than that, maybe you're even a little bit stronger, feel free to jump into the full push-up position. Maybe you even start with the full push-up position. As you get tired, you go to the modified push-up position, and then as you can't do those anymore, go to that Cobra push-up position. And so that's kind of the progression, just to make those push-ups a little bit easier for you, a little bit more attainable. The important part is that you do them. The important part is that we're moving, that we're working on these muscles, and that we're making some good changes. Next, we're going to do our walk downs. And so again, hinge forward at the hips until your hands come into contact with the ground. And then you're going to walk your hands out into a full tall plank position, and then walk them right back, just like that. Great way to work on a lot of muscles in the upper body as well as the core as we get out into that tall plank position. If you do need a little bit higher intensity after you perform the walkout, so you get all the way into that walkout position, feel free to throw a push-up at the end of that. Maybe if that's too hard, you're going to do this, so you're going to perform the walkout, drop your knees down to the floor, and then perform a modified push-up in that position. Again, push yourself just as hard as you think you can. The only person that you're competing against is yourself. You just want to try to do this as best that you can. Try to push yourself. I know that you can do it. So there is our 40-second high interval. Here's our 20-second low interval. And then we're going to get into our next exercise, which is the Superman Lat Pulls. So you're down on your stomach, arms out over your head, feet back behind you. Pull your chest and your legs up off of the ground. There's the Superman position. And then you're going to perform a lat pull down by pulling your elbows down to your sides and back behind you. This is a great exercise. Again, working the lower back with this one, but we're also working a ton of muscles in the back, including those lat muscles that you're pulling down with. And so if you need a little bit higher intensity, instead of coming down between each lat pull rep, try to get about 3 to 5 reps up when you're up in the Superman position. So here's 1, 2, 3, 2 more, 4, last one, 5. And so you'd about 3 to 5 reps up in that Superman position, as opposed to 1 per rep would be your beginner version of that exercise. Very well done. Here's our 20-second low interval. Again, I'm doing a boxer shuffle. You can march in place. You can walk around the room. Jumping jacks is a good one. Just try to keep the heart rate up. Try to keep moving as you go through the low interval period. All right, our next exercise is going to be our push-up reaches. So I'm in that modified push-up position on my knees. I go down into a push-up, and then I'm going to reach forward with my hand. Again, great exercise. So right now I go down, reach forward with my right. It's a great exercise for my left shoulder to keep those muscles kicked on, those stabilizer muscles, to work those a little bit harder. It's also a great exercise for that shoulder, that arm that's reaching forward. Kicks on a lot of deltoid muscle as you go up and down. That's the big shoulder muscle. It's going to give you that nice V-cut look on the outside of your arm. Okay, so there's your 40 seconds of the high interval period. Follow that up with our 20-second low interval. Again, whatever activity you choose to do here. And then we're going to get right into our next exercise. We've got 3 more in set number 2. You got this. The row to the triceps extension is next. And so again, we're going to hinge forward at our hips. Keep your back nice and straight. Pull your elbows back behind you, really trying to squeeze your shoulder blades together. That's where the row part comes in. The triceps extension comes on when you squeeze that muscle in the back of your arm to pull your elbow out straight, to make your arm straight. That's the triceps extension version or part of this exercise. And so a row to triceps extension. If that's difficult enough for you, stay right there for the full 40 seconds. If you feel like you need a little bit higher intensity, feel free to grab some resistance. Now we're going to do that same motion, the row to the triceps extension. We're just going to add a little bit of some resistance to it. Very nice. Okay, so there's your 40-second high interval period, whichever version of that you decided to go with. Here is our 20-second low interval period. Again, I'm hitting that boxer shuffle up. Keep the heart rate up, keep moving. I just don't want you to stand around statically while this low interval 20-second period is on. Okay, next one that we're going to get into are our alternating T-planks. And so in that T-plank position, right there, I'm on my right hand on the outside of my right foot. Hold that for a couple seconds. Roll to the middle, and then roll onto your left hand and the outside of your left foot. That's that alternating T-plank, just like that. Here's the beginner version. If you need something a little more difficult, let's just kick on one more group of upper body muscles by throwing a push-up into the middle of this. If you can't tell by now, push-ups are one of my favorite upper body exercises. They're probably my favorite body weight exercise. They work a ton of muscles. They're great for your core. They're great for your chest and arms and shoulders. They just work so many things. So we're going to do those, quite a few of them throughout this workout. You're going to feel these, but you know what? We're making some good changes. We're increasing strength. We're increasing muscle tone. We're doing a lot of great things with this workout. I know that you can do it. I know you can keep it up. There's your alternating T-plank. You've got one more exercise for this second set period here. Here's our Arnold press with the squat. Get down into that quarter squat position. Try to keep your back relatively as straight as possible. You're going to curl those arms, so hands up to your shoulders, and then complete the press by pushing your arms all the way up and over your head, just like that. There's your 20-second demonstration of the beginner version. Here's your 20-second demonstration of the more intermediate or advanced version. You're just going to pick up those same weights or bottles or whatever it is that you're using around the house to do your the higher intensity version of this exercise. Again, this makes it a little bit more of an intermediate or advanced version. I want you to push yourself. I want you to try to do just as much as you think that you can. These are just some great exercises. Again, we're going for arm definition. We're going for upper body strength with this. These are all great exercises to help you achieve that. Okay, so there is your second set of these 8 exercises. Again, 60-second break, and then come back for more. Your final set is coming right up. All right, here we go. Here's our third and final set in this at-home upper body workout. Let's go ahead and we'll get started. 8 more minutes, 8 more exercises. You guys got this. Let's go ahead and kick it off with our lunging triceps extensions. So again, I'm on my left leg. I'm doing about 3 to 5 kickbacks with the triceps extension. I'm going to alternate into that right leg and I perform about 3 to 5 kickbacks with that triceps extension. Great way that we're going to kick on some leg muscles with this. You're using some quad and some hip to stabilize your body in that position. You're working some core, some lower back as you're stabilizing right there. But the most important part here, the one that I really want you to focus on, is squeezing those triceps. Really trying to extend through your elbows, really trying to get a good pinch through your triceps. Again, that's those muscles right there on the back of your arm. There's your first 40-second period on this third set. We're going to take our 20-second active recovery period. Again, I'm doing the boxer shuffle. Feel free to do whatever you need to do. You can march in place. You can do some high knees. You can do some jumping jacks. Walk around the room. Go up and down the stairs. That's your low interval period, just because I don't want your heart rate to drop while we're doing this. Keep it up. Here's our Cobra push-ups, laying down on our stomach with your arms underneath you. Then you're going to press up onto your hands, just like that is what the modified or the Cobra push-up looks like. Again, keeping your thighs or your hips in contact with the ground. You're not lifting, your whole body weight with this one. If you do need a little bit more intensity, just lift a little bit more of your body weight. So now the modified push-up is I'm hinging at my knees, my back is straight. If you need something even a little bit higher intensity, here's a little bit more body weight onto your hands. We're going to do that full push-up version of this exercise. Pick the intensity that's right for you. I want you to try to push it, especially on this last set. Maybe you've been doing the beginner version of all of these exercises so far. Try to do the advanced version. Try to do kind of that intermediate advanced version of these exercises. Even if it's just for even half the time, even if it's just for maybe 20 seconds of the 40, that's still a good step in the right direction. Try to push yourself. I know you can do it. Let's get into our walk downs. And so this one, we're standing upright, hinge forward at the hips, hands come in contact with the ground, walk out into that tall plank position, and then walk your hands right back to your toes, bend your knees, bend your hips, and then you're going to return to upright. If you feel like you need a little bit more of a challenge with this, throw a push-up in at the end. So here's the walkout, We're going to hold that position, drop into the push-up, and then right back up. If a full push-up is too intense, but just a normal walk-up isn't quite hard enough, bend your knees till they come in contact with the ground, and then you can perform a modified push-up from your knees for that high-intensity interval period. Okay, very nice. So there's your 40-second high-intensity interval. Here's our 20-second lower intensity interval. Again, we're treating it like an active interval. We're going to be active. We're going to be doing a little bit of a active recovery type period with this, keeping that heart rate elevated while we do it. Our next exercise is going to be the Superman lat pull, laying on your stomach. Extend through your back, lift your chest and your knees up off of the ground, and then perform the lat pull. Again, the beginner version of this is you'll see that I'm going to pull up into the Superman. There's the lat pull version with my arms, and then come right back down. So you perform one lat pull down per Superman extension in your lower back. Again, if you need a little bit higher intensity, check it out. So now we're going to do about 5 lat pull downs with my arms while I'm up in just one Superman extension. Great exercise for your back. We're working a ton of your lower back with this. We're working a lot of your upper back with this, keeping your chest up off of the ground. Just a great way that we can really work that core as well as get some good upper body work in as well. All right, there's our 40-second high intensity period. Here's our 20-second lower intensity period. I've got great news, you guys. We're halfway done with this last set. Finish strong. We only got 4 minutes left. You got this. 4 minutes to change your lives, 4 minutes to change yourself and to achieve some of those goals that you have. And so here's your push-up reaches. Again, I'm in a modified push-up here as the beginner version on my knees. Drop down into a push-up. Reach forward with your left arm. Drop down into a push-up. Reach forward with your right arm. Looks just like that. If you need something a little higher intensity, go up into that full push-up position. So now we've got just out on my toes and on my hands. My knees are straight, my hips are flat, my back is flat. Drop down into a push-up, and then you're going to alternate reaching right arm, left arm out in front of you is going to be the reach. And so we're going to do some, again, push-up reaches with this. Okay, there's your 40-second period there. Hopefully you guys are feeling this one. Hopefully the upper body's starting to burn a little bit. Should feel it in your chest, should feel it in your arms. Those are the muscles that we've primarily been hitting. You guys are doing awesome. We got 5 seconds left on this lower intensity active recovery period, and then let's get right into our rows to triceps extensions. Hinge forward at your hips, keep your back nice and flat. Pull your elbows back behind you into that row position, and then again you're going to extend through your triceps to get into that triceps extension position. Again, this is such a great exercise. We're working all 3 heads of the triceps with this, really trying to focus and to stabilize those throughout that triceps extension part of this. Really trying to squeeze your shoulder blades together as you do the row part of this, and as you pull your arms back behind you, trying to work those muscles that actually sit between your shoulder blades. Great for postures, great for neck pain, great for tension headaches. Those muscles, they just don't get worked enough, and so that's a great exercise to try to mitigate some of those types of symptoms and to increase strength in those areas. So there's our 40-second active period. Here's our 20-second low intensity period or active recovery period, and then we've just got a few more exercises. 2 more alternating T-planks. Here we go. So we're going to get down in the T-plank position. I'm on my right hand and on the outside of my right foot, reaching my left arm up towards the sky. Drop the left arm down towards the ground. It comes in contact with the ground and stabilizes us as I reach that right hand up to the sky, and I roll onto the outside of my left foot. That's what your alternating T-plank looks like. Try to keep your back as flat and as stable as you can with this. I'm looking for a straight line. When you're on your side, you should be able to draw a straight line basically through your nose, through your belly button, down between your knees, down between your ankles is what that straight side plank T position looks like. Very good. 3, 2, 1. And that is it on the higher intensity, or there's the higher intensity demonstration of the T-plank exercise. Again, you're just going to throw the push-up in between each alternating T-plank. Try to push yourself, do just as much as you feel like you safely can, and guess what? We've got only 1 exercise left in this workout, and so it's going to be that Arnold press with a squat. And so we're going to drop down into that quarter squat position, elbows touch the shoulders, and then extend, the hands extend up and over the head. Elbows to shoulders, hands up overhead, and then return to that starting position. And so this is a great exercise. We're working some of the legs, We're working quads and glutes with this as they're holding us in that kind of quarter squat position. And then we're also working a ton of upper body as we perform that Arnold press. Arnold press again consists of a curl to a military and then back down in that reverse order, just like that. 5, 4, 3, finish strong, 2, 1, and that is it. Hey, excellent job, you guys. So there's your 40-second high interval period. Here's your 20-second low interval period. And I've got some fantastic news. You guys have completed this workout. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I've loved being able to put these together for you guys. I hope you find them beneficial. If you do, go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. That goes a long way with us. I appreciate that in advance. Also a great chance to subscribe to Tone and Tighten if you haven't done so already. And so until next time, I'll see you again right here on Tone and Tighten.